Grade 11, Chapter 1, Arduino, Lesson 3. In this lesson also we are going to review some concept from grade 10, since we consider that maybe it is your first time to teach Arduino and you skip this chapter in grade 10 due to coronavirus or for other reasons. Please note that Arduino needs a specific hardware students must manipulate, and this hardware could be bought from an online shop like AliExpress or other online shops in your country. But maybe a question should be asked that nowadays we are teaching online, we are not at school, and students are away from us. So the question is it possible to teach Arduino online? The answer is, of course, yes, since your task is divided into two parts. The first part is to explain the concepts of what is a microcontroller and how a microcontroller function and what are the components of the board and around the board, like sensors, motors, and other components. And in parallel, students must understand all those concepts that you can teach online, no need for hardware. And even for the programming part, you can teach it online. The only part that you can't teach it online is that the part of the manipulation, since the students are not at school manipulating this hardware. So knowing that, we can continue this chapter by introducing the concept part of it. And in lesson 3, we are going to explain the different element of the Arduino microcontroller. And to start by saying that an Arduino or the Arduino board is a microcontroller connected to the computer in order to control the electronic components like the motors, sensors, LEDs, etc. And here we show the Arduino board, which contain the USB connection to link to Arduino and the electric connection to a 9-volt battery, plus a series of digital pins that are shown here, number 3. But in parallel, for manipulation and for building a circuit, there is a free software called Fritzing. This software, you as teacher must master it and know it in order to show your students, if they are online or at school, how to build and how to build a circuit. So once you launch the Fritzing software, which is in front of you here right now, so the welcome screen is displayed as shown. So the first thing you do is to click on the breadboard. You have what we call the breadboard. Later on I'll explain you the use of the breadboard, but in order to start with, on the right you click on the size of the breadboard and you take half plus in order to create a space in order to insert the Arduino board. And in the components here in the parts, you have many layers or many tabs. As you see, you have here the sign of the Arduino to insert the Arduino board. So which one to choose? I ask you to choose the first one. So this manipulation should be done with the students to show them how to create the circuit using Fritzing. And once this is shown, you can start by explaining them that this button is for connecting the computer to the USB through the computer, and at the same time it's for downloading the programs and alimenting the circuit by the 5 volt. And this connection is for the 5 volt connector in case you want to try your circuit far away from the computer once it is not connected. And the digital pins here are named by or numbered from 0, 1 till 13. You have the ground pin here, you have the 5 volt and the ground pin, and the analog pin A0 to A5. Later on you will understand more and more the utility of those digital pins. But the moment now is to understand that the software you will need to show how to build a circuit is the software Fritzing that you can download from our website. And from what I'm doing in front of you, this is what you have to manipulate while explaining to your students. So back to the PDF file. Once you explain the main component of the Arduino microcontroller board, which is the USB, the 9 volt, 5 volt connectors, and the digital pins. Okay, you pass to the definition of the digital pins that are divided into 3 categories. You have and this concept is known in physics. So every electronic component needs 2 connections in order to function properly. One connection to the negative pole, the anode or the 0 volt, and another to the positive pole, the cathode or the 5 volt. In conclusion, we understand the presence of the number of digital pin on the Arduino board. So the question is why I have all those digital pins, since I use them in order to build complex circuit and so on. The G and D pin is the meaning is for the ground. It is the digital pin that provides 0 volt. The 5V or 5 volt, it is the digital pin that provides 5 volts. 0 to 13, the digital pins 0 to 13 can provide 5 volt. These are the digital pins that provide 5 volt with the possibility of controlling the passage of the 5 volts through the Arduino program. Now, it's a very important question. What is the difference between the 5 volt pin and the 0 to 13 digital pins? The answer is very simple. The 5 volt pin continuously provides 5 volts for the circuit, and the 0 to 13 digital pins are controlled by the Arduino program in order to provide or not 5 volts. So by the software or by the program, you can control what we call the 0 and to 13 pin in order to see if the current pass or not. And by that you can control all the electronic devices. Then after we go through the a first project in order to see how we can build it on the Arduino, which is the LED project. And by moving from the accessories LED, so as you can see here, you can select, we have to wait a few seconds. Okay, so you can take this LED and this LED, and the 2 legs, as you can see, The one on the right, it's the anode, and the one on the left is the cathode. And the anode, as you can see, it's longer, but here they have the same width since, or size, since it is a little bit curved, as you can see here. So if I go back to the PDF file and the lesson, you can see that the LED has two terminals, and here I guess in grade 11 students are well aware of this, since they know it from the physics course. The negative terminal, the anode, is always connected to the ground pin. It is the shorter LED, and the positive terminal, cathode, will be connected to one of the digital pins. It's the longer lead. Examine how the LED is connected to the Arduino board. Here, as you can see, I insert the LED one leg to the ground and the other one to one of the digital pins you want. Okay, and once the electrical circuit is done, let's move to the program. And the program you need is the Arduino, and you can download it from the Arduino CC. And once you launch the Arduino software, the welcome screen is formed of this editor, where the program is divided into two procedures. The first one is called setup, and the second one is called the loop procedure. In the setup procedure, we define the hardware components that we will use, and in which mode, if it's in input mode or in output mode. And in the loop procedure, we will do the program. So once this introduction is done, depend if you have enough time to continue a little bit, and I believe that you will be short in time. That's why we'll keep for the second lesson how to program the LED.